Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And I'm here today to give you a list of herbs, foods, nutrients, and more that can help with brain health. So I've been working on for the past couple of years doing videos like this that will cover various ailments, or even something where you're just trying to have healthier skin, healthier hair, or whatever, where I compile many different things and put them in a list for you so that you can pick and choose from that list and find what's going to work best for you. And I also type these particular lists out, and then I'll put the link in the description box down below so you don't have to write all this down. You can just go to that link, copy, and paste it into your own document. With that, I'm also going to be posting the link to the full playlist where I have all these videos in there, as well as the link to the full playlist on the specific herbs where I do profiles on herbs, let's say turmeric or elderberries and more, where I talk about the many benefits of each one. So a lot of the things I'll be mentioning in here, not all, but a lot of them I already have videos out. So you can learn more about those herbs and find out whether or not it's be something you either want to stock up on or even try to grow for yourself. So when I'm talking about brain health, I'm talking about just generally speaking. So this is to help with all cognitive issues, memory, depression, help prevent things like Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, and more. So that's what we're looking at right here. So anything we can do to keep our brains sharp, that's important. So first thing I'm going to list off are some nutrients so that you can either, if you feel the need to actually buy them in supplement form, that's something you can do, or learn about the foods, which are a lot of the ones I'll be listing, and herbs that are high in these very nutrients that you can start incorporating more of in your diet. So that would be lutein, omega-3s. That's why they always say fish is brain food, because it's high in omega-3s. B complex, vitamin D, protein. We're looking specifically at animal proteins, but yes, plant-based proteins can be helpful too. Lycopene, vitamin A, vitamin K, and zinc. So now let's cover the herbs and the foods. Some of these I've never heard of, so it's possible you may not have either, so I'll definitely be putting photos of those that I've gathered from the internet. So moringa, I just did a video on this one. Turmeric, another one I recently did a video on. Lion's mane or reishi, these are two different types of mushrooms, both very good for just all kinds of health, but lion's mane in particular is at the top for helping with brain function. Rosemary I know is especially good for helping with memory. Even if you just use it as an essential oil just under your nose, it can do a lot to help sharpen your memory. And sage would be the same. It works similar because they have similar components in it. I believe sage also has rosmarinic acid, as did thyme. And even though I don't have thyme on my list, I think that falls in there as well. Ginkgo biloba, ashwagandha, ginseng. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but gotu kola, lemon balm, spearmint, peppermint, probably anything that's very minty like that. Saffron, Bacopa, cat's claw, and here's another one I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce correctly, but you will find it in the list so you can see the spelling. Shankpushpi, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, black pepper, eleuthero root. I've heard of this before, but I'm still not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I even have some of this on hand, though I've only tried using it once. It tastes horrible. Tulsi I love, and I definitely have a video on that one. And it is pretty easy to grow. It is a type of basil. It's also known as holy basil. Guduchi, amla, which is a fruit. Broccoli, and I'm assuming that is because of its high vitamin K. You'll actually find vitamin K in a lot of your dark leafy greens. Cacao, chocolate's good for your brain health. Chia seed, chlorella, coconut oil, say just coconut in general, but coconut oil we use quite a bit in a lot of things, probably more so than we just use coconut flakes. Goji berry, green tea, guarana, and elderberries, and I would say elderflower as well, because I know elderflower is good for the nervous system. And so there's that list. Now let's talk a little bit about some things you should avoid that can really take a toll on your brain health, and that is fluoride. So that's in the form of especially fluoridated water, anything you're going to drink like that. If you're on city tap water and your city fluoridates, make sure you look into that to find out whether or not they do. And if they do, then I recommend either getting a good filtering system that removes fluoride or looking at a different way to get your water. So this is one of the big reasons why we started our own rainwater catchment system, is so that we don't even have to worry about cleaning out the fluoride, because fluoride filters are expensive. And I have a video on our setup that I'll link to down below if you're curious about our rainwater collection. But that also includes Teflon. Some people don't even realize that Teflon has fluoride in it. That's part of the name. So you definitely got to get away from that. And aluminum, so that means stop using aluminum foil, aluminum baking pans, baking sheets. Stop using baking powder that uses aluminum as a drying agent. And I have a video on making your own baking powder, or just keeping the two main ingredients on hand for a baking powder blend. And also check closely if you're using a store-bought deodorant. Check it to make sure it does not have aluminum in it, because it's common to put it in there. Now, a lot of people think that they were putting aluminum in these things because they're trying to kill people. Well, not necessarily. Aluminum, because it's a natural drying agent, that's why it would have been added to deodorant as well as to baking powder, to keep the baking powder from clumping. That's the purpose of it. There's a chance that maybe they didn't know how toxic it was, and how aluminum is one of those things that's causing Alzheimer's and dementia, because of the damage it's doing to the brain. And then, of course, as you would have seen recently, artificial sweeteners, especially aspartame, should be avoided at all costs. I'm not talking about the natural non-nutritive sweeteners. I'm talking about the artificial synthetic sweeteners. Avoid those things. They are terrible, and they will cause a decline in your brain health. Some other factors to consider when you're looking at having a healthy brain are making sure you have a healthy gut, because a lot of people say the gut is really the brain of the health of our body. So if our guts are in good shape, that's also going to help our brain be in good shape. And then getting exercise. So there's two different types of exercise we're talking about. So your regular physical exercise, which should be important, and it doesn't mean you have to go to a gym and work out and pay a bunch of money there and start lifting weights. It can be something as simple as picking up a good habit like gardening, things that cause you to be more active. I'm going to link down below to a video I did on ways to add more movement to your day. So this is something that will apply to anyone, people in a wheelchair, people who have mobility issues, as well as people who are healthier and just busy, and they're just looking and don't have time to stop and do certain specific exercises, but want a way to add more exercise to their very busy day. And then there's cognitive exercises. So that would be things like playing games, any kind of puzzle game, solitaire included. It helps keep your brain sharp because it's forcing you to have to think. So any game that's going to do that, and just jigsaw puzzles too, that makes you have to think. So if you've got some free time and you're just trying to relax, these are good things that you can do, crossword puzzles as well. But also picking up a new skill, learning how to do something like, for example, crocheting for me was an excellent way for me to finally be able to grasp my times tables and get them memorized, because once you start doing that, then you don't even have to really think of it. You learn how to count by 3s and 4s and 9s and 7s, and all the ones that tend to be a little bit more difficult, and it does get a lot easier. And again, you're keeping the brain sharp by doing that, so you're going to be staving off all kinds of brain issues that can come down the road. So working the brain, just like working your body, keeps it healthy. And also, some thoughts are learning a foreign language, and even sign language, that would count, which is a great one because it's really easy to learn sign language, and that's something you can teach to your children and grandchildren. So especially if they're having communication issues, being able to speak words, they can usually grasp signs. So there's a few things right there. Now don't forget to, if you want that written list, I'll be putting it in the description box down below, plus the playlist I'll be putting down below, such as the natural remedies lists and the herb profiles, and then all the other videos and anything else I think to put in there I think would be helpful to you. And please share with us down below if you've done anything, have you taken lion's mane or any of these things to help with memory issues, or you've done that with a loved one. And share with us your experiences and what has worked well for you or for your loved one in the comments down below. All right, well, thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.